What's up, guys? Just here back to my channel. Tonight, I'll be doing a review for Monday Night Raw, which is very late, a very late review video. So let's get to it then with the segment with John Cena. At ringside, John Cena makes his way out. Cena signals to cut his music and circles the ring. Cena is given his valid but slightly extra introduction. He then asks for a mic. Cena says the WWE Universe teaches him something new every time someone opens their mouth. Cena takes a shot at R-Truth and says chanting for truth accomplished nothing, and that fans are armchair activists and keyboard warrior. He says R-Truth is a gimmick and the fans will forget about him in 10 years. Cena reminds us this is his farewell tour. Cena counts down how many days he has left on his tour, which is now 19 days. He tells the fans to use their voice to send him competition and not the class clown. CM Punk's music hits and he comes down during Punk asks Cena if he's comfortable because he has a lot things to get off his chest. He's prepared to fight, but whatever the case, he'll make Cena listen to to everything he has to say. Punk talks about Cena wanting to ruin wrestling and being the poster child and how he's a black sheep, but here to salvage wrestling and to defend the people. Punk talks about Cena being picked by the establishment, but the fans never picked Cena, and the reverse can be said for him. He tells Cena he's not working for the final boss, but that the fans are his boss. Punk says it's time he teaches Cena that he's just a spoke on the wheel, and he'll start taking Cena's title. Punk talks about how Cena apologized to Punk when he pinned him last time, and it's because Cena knows it was wrong. He tells Cena that Cena knows what he's doing now is wrong. Punk says he will have Cena apologizing to the fans, and that the title has corrupted Cena. Punk has corrupted Cena. I'm sorry. Uh, Punk says he's afraid of the man he becomes when he's the champ, so he understands why Cena has changed. He tells Cena he will become a monster to stop Monster Cena. Punk says Cena has 18 days left, and he'll leave it to Cena to choose what day Punk will take the title from him. Punk tells Cena he should pick tonight. Cena gets on the mic and says they should have one final match, but not tonight. Cena says they'll go head to head at Nine Champions in Saudi Arabia. Seth Rollins interrupts the little party Cena and Punk are having. Rollins has his money in the bank briefcase. Braun Breaker, Braun Strowman, and Paul Heyman with him. He holds his contract up in the briefcase and stares at Cena and Punk in the ring. All right, so first match coming up: Chad Gable with American Mane, the Creed Brothers versus AJ Styles. All right, Gable gets Styles in a headlock right out the bell, and Styles counters and throws Gable into a headlock. Gable arm drags Styles, and Styles arm drags back and arm drags back, and AJ gets locked in a headlock. Styles drop kicks Gable out of the ring, and Gable is able to trip Styles on the apron and then hits a release suplex on Styles. Outside, we cut commercial break. Back to Raw. Gable has Styles in an armbar in the middle of the ring. Styles powers out of the hole with punches to Gable's head and then takes down Gable with a forearm and then a basement forearm. Styles hits a spinning backbreaker bomb on Gable and covers for a near fall. Gable counters Styles clash attempts and suplexes Styles. Gable hits a flying headbutt and covers for 2 count. Gable goes for a moonsault, but Styles stops Gable and power bombs him. Styles goes for Styles clash and Brutus distracts the ref, allowing Julius to make the save on Gable. Styles takes out the Creed brothers and then tries for the phenomenal forearm, but Gable catches him and puts him in an ankle lock. Styles powers out and gets Gable on the ropes and then hits the Styles clash and gets to win. So winner's AJ Styles. Alright, Liv Morgan backstage with Roxanne Perez and all that stuff. Talks about they work together before their match coming up. And so, alright, so second match, first round, fair 4-way, Queen of the Wing. Sorry, I didn't say that right. Queen of the Ring tournament, Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane versus Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez. Sane attacks Perez and Ripley goes after Morgan. Perez helps out Morgan and attacks Ripley, who tries for Morgan. Zayn takes down Perez and Morgan kicks Zayn. Zayn takes both down Perez and Morgan sends him out of the ring. Ripley kicks excuse me, Ripley kicks down Zayn and drop kicks her. Ripley covers Zayn for a 2 count. Zayn takes down Ripley with a blockbuster and covers her for two. Ripley throws Zayn across the ring and then kicks her. Perez and Morgan run in. All three women attack Ripley. Morgan clocks Zayn and Ripley attacks Morgan, but Perez saves her. Ripley goes for a riptide on Morgan, but Perez trips up Ripley. Ripley is double teamed by Perez and Morgan. Zayn tries for a crossbody, but Morgan and Perez catch her and throw her out of the ring onto Ripley, and we cut commercial break. We're back, and Perez and Morgan double team both Ripley and Zayn. Perez is tossed out of the ring by Zayn, and then she starts to beat down Morgan. Zayn walks the plank and strikes Morgan in the corner and covers her until Perez makes a save. Perez goes for pop rocks, but Ripley kicks her. Morgan hits a springboard codebreaker on Ripley and covers her, but Zayn breaks the pin. Zayn hits an Alabama slam on Perez and then goes for the insane elbow, but Morgan stops Zayn. Zayn is punched while sitting on the top rope. Morgan and Perez go to sleep. Zayn puts, but go suplex Zayn. I'm sorry, but this gives Ripley the chance to slam down Perez and Morgan with a single bomb. Power bombs. Zayn hits a forearm off the top on Ripley and covers her for two. Ripley and Zayn trade punches in the ring, and Zayn takes Ripley down with a stunner and covers her, but the pin is broken by Perez. Morgan and Perez double team Ripley in the corner, and then the duo go after Zayn. Morgan hits a backstabber on Zayn, sending her out of the ring. Ripley takes down Perez, and Ripley boots Zayn and headbutts Perez. Morgan goes for Oblivion, but Ripley blocks and hits Riptide. Raquel Rodriguez runs down and pulls Ripley out in mid-pin. Rodriguez and Ripley fight outside the ring. Zayn comes off the top rope and splashes on them. Zayn gets back on the top rope and hits the insane elbow on Morgan and covers her. Perez runs in and rolls up Zayn and gets the win. So winner is Roxanne Perez. Alright, Becky Lynch walks back. You see A-Top down, Austin Theory arguing and all that stuff. Alright, I have a little segment with Becky Lynch. I'm trying to get this fucking thing scrolling down and shit. Alright, Jay Uso and Gunther showing back stretching for main event and stuff. A big package for returning Nikki Bella plays. Maxine Dupree and Natalia backstage approaching them all stuff, and Io Sky talk to Io Sky and stuff. Alright. So, anyways, ringside, Becky Lynch. We have a segment with Becky Lynch again. At ringside, Becky Lynch makes her way out to the ring with her Intercontinental Championship. Lynch gets on the mic and says she deserves her win and she should be celebrating. She rattles off her accolades and now she can add IC champ. She says she's brought the IC titles into the big time, and now the IC title is the greatest title in the WWE now that she's holding it. She says she's got a lot to celebrate, but she says she can't because Lau Baccaria ruined everything. She says Baccaria didn't live up to her end of the bargain and aggressively raised her hand, and Lynch thought her shoulder was dislocated because of how aggressive Baccaria was. Lynch says she then offered an olive branch, was allowing Baccaria to put the title on her waist. But Baccaria snapped. Lynch calls Baccaria out to apologize and has Baccaria come out. Bailey runs out and attacks Lynch. Lynch runs out of the ring and runs into Baccaria. Baccaria throws Lynch back in the ring, and Bailey goes for the rose plant, but Lynch escapes and runs into the crowd. Alright, after that, R-Truth jumps onto announce desk dressed in black and a hoodie. Truth reveals himself and tells the fans to never believe that their voice doesn't matter because he's back because of the fans. Truth says he's back for himself as well as for everyone else. He says we all love R-Truth, but Truth can be funny all the time or too nice or too forgiving, but not him. He says he feels different. He feels alive. He says he's not a sideshow act or a gimmick like Cena said earlier. Truth grabs some scissors and cuts off his dreads. He says R-Truth, the truth has set him free, and he is Ron Killings. He is the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and he demands respect on his name and vanishes into the crowd. Hell yeah. I'm happy he's Batman, thank goodness. Alright, Dominic Mysterio backstage with the Judgment Day warming up and stuff for his upcoming match. Alright, so Rosberger, Paul walk backstage, all that stuff. Alright, uh, well, Ron says this is all tag on both titles and all that, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so anyways, third match coming up. First round, fatal four-way King of the Ring tournament match. Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman versus Penta versus Sami Zayn. Alright, the bell rings. Mysterio sneaks out of the ring and Penta flips out onto him in the ring. Zayn punches Breaker, but Breaker sends Zayn into the corner and slams into him. Breaker throws Zayn across the ring and catches Penta as he tries to splash onto Breaker. Breaker hits a running clothesline on Mysterio, and then we cut commercial break. Back to Raw, back to the show. Back to commercial break, whatever. Penta stands tall with the other three in different corners. Breaker attacks and throws Penta across the ring, and then heads to Zayn and punches him. Breaker now goes for Mysterio and throws him across the ring. Zayn punches Breaker. Mysterio hits a code breaker on Breaker, and Penta kicks Breaker. All three men attack Breaker. Zayn and Breaker are sent out of the ring, and Penta and Mysterio battle in the ring. Penta kicks Mysterio in the corner and covers for a 2 count. Zayn runs in and tries for a blue thunderbomb on Penta, but Penta counters Zayn into a tornado DDT on Penta, and Mysterio breaks the pin. Breaker makes his way into the ring, and Zayn connects with the sun punches on Breaker. Breaker spears Zayn to the mat and starts punching Zayn. Breaker chokes Zayn against the ropes and then connects with some body shots on Zayn. Mysterio stumps on Mysterio and then walks into a slap from Zayn. Zayn is thrown over the ropes, and Zayn gets Breaker over the ropes and hits a springboard moonsault from the ropes to the outside. To outside the ring. Penta takes down Zayn from the turnbuckle, and Mysterio hits a suicide tornado DDT on Penta. Breaker comes off the apron, colliding with Mysterio, sending him crashing through the announce desk. Commercial break again. Back on Raw, Breaker slams into Zayn in the corner. Zayn and Breaker are on the corner buckle. Zayn pushes off Breaker, and Mysterio runs up and tries to slam Zayn, but Penta comes in and powerbombs Mysterio, allowing Breaker to hit a Frankenstein on Zayn. Breaker and Penta now punch each other, and Breaker knees Penta, and Penta fires back the kick. Breaker gorilla presses Penta, who counters and gets Breaker down. Mysterio runs in and tries to steal the pin, but Breaker kicks out. Zayn tries to blue thunderbomb Mysterio, but Mysterio counters and goes for a 3 mils. He connects with 2, and Zayn counters to blue thunderbomb and covers Mysterio for a 2 count. Penta super kicks Zayn and then hits the Psycho Rise on Zayn, followed by the Penta driver and covers Zayn. Mysterio runs in and rolls up Penta, but doesn't succeed. Penta hits a sling blade on Mysterio and then slams down Mysterio with a Mexican Destroyer and covers Mysterio, and Breaker breaks the pin. Breaker punches Penta and then stomps on Mysterio and kicks Zayn. Breaker throws Penta out of the ring and then goes to the other end of the ring and runs at Penta and spears him outside the ring. LA Knight runs out and hits BUT on Breaker, and in the ring, Zayn hits the Exploder suplex on Mysterio and then hits the Helluva Kick and gets the win. So winner is Sami Zayn. Kathy Kelly talks to AJ Styles about Chad. She's stressed because Chad gave all this stuff, and then talks to the New Day and all that stuff about the tag team division and all that. And Nikki Bella walks backstage, something she's been doing all show. Like, excuse me, guys. She's up next on stuff, and then we come back to a video patch where Asuka, she returns next week. Thank goodness. Alright, Nikki Bella's music hits. She makes her way out to the ring. Bella says it's great to be back home, and thanks the WWE Universe and her Bella Army. Bella talks about WWE Evolution next month and talks about being in the main event in the first Evolution. I remember that. Bella says there are so many women in the locker room and with loads of talent. She says the women from the past are so proud of these women. Liv Morgan comes out and screams at Bella and says she better mention Liv Morgan if she's talking about the best. Morgan says she's the most talented in the whole division, and then tells Bella she's lucky Morgan wasn't around when she was, because she would have been a champ. Morgan says Bella is jealous of her because she has respect, a championship, and a man. And man thinks Bella doesn't have Bella says she understands because it's a bad night for Morgan because she loves. But speaking of Morgan's man, who is he with? Roxanne Perez or Morgan? Morgan says it doesn't matter because Morgan is champion and all Bella is a reality show diva, and then it's Oblivion on Bella and Lee's. Um, yeah, damn, yeah, she comes back, get her ass kicked and shit. Um, so anyways, main event coming up. Fourth match, WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Jey Uso versus Gunther. All right, Alicia Taylor does the introduction. We get the bell. The crowd chants, "You tapped out to Gunther," and the men lock up. Gunther gets Uso on the mat, and Uso fires back with the sleeper hold. Gunther gets Uso in the corner, but Uso punches Gunther, and then tries to kick him, but Gunther rolls out of the ring and we cut commercial break. Back to our main event. Uso punches Gunther in the corner and then chops him. Uso goes to climb the ropes, but Gunther intercepts and attacks him. Uso is still able to hit a crossbody from the top rope, and he covers Gunther for a near fall. Gunther goes after Uso's ribs. Gunther rips off Uso's shirt, and we see his ribs are taped up. And Gunther goes after the taped up ribs. Gunther hits a backbreaker on Uso, and Uso tries to get some offense, but is slammed down by Gunther. Gunther rips off the tape from Gunther's ribs and then kicks Uso in the ribs. Uso is assaulted in the corner with kicks and strikes. Gunther goes to slam into Uso, but Uso moves and then hits Gunther with a sleeper hold. Gunther breaks the hold, but Uso hits a German suplex on Gunther. Uso goes for a spear, but Gunther catches him and puts him in a sleeper hold. Uso breaks the hold and sending Gunther outside the ring and runs at Gunther, but Gunther, excuse me, but Gunther punches Uso outside the ring. Gunther suplexes Uso, and we cut commercial break in. Back to the final stretch for Raw. Gunther has Uso on the mat and gets him on his feet and goes to suplex Uso, but Uso blocks it. Uso suplexes Gunther, and they're both laid out. Uso and Gunther trade punches and chops in the center of the ring. Kicks. Kicks down Gunther and tries for a hip attack, but Gunther moves out of the way. Gunther puts Uso in a sleeper hold, and Uso battles out of it and rolls out to the apron. Uso dumps Gunther out onto the floor and runs out of the ring. And it's a suicide dive on Gunther. Gunther slams Uso into the barricade and throws Uso back at first onto the railing. Back in the ring, Gunther comes off the top and goes for a splash, but Gunther gets his knees up. Uso hits a spear and then hits the Uso splash and covers Gunther, who kicks out at two. Uso goes to spear Gunther, and Gunther clotheslines Uso. Gunther goes for a powerbomb and Uso counters and rolls up Gunther for two. Uso tries for another sleeper hold, but Gunther counters out of it. Gunther powerbombs Uso and covers him, but Uso kicks out. Gunther spears Uso and covers for a near fall. Uso is clotheslined down again, and Uso gets up, and Gunther tries to knock him down again, but Uso doesn't budge. Gunther and Uso trade sleeper holds. Uso hits a super kick and a spear and comes down off the turnbuckle with a Uso splash, but slams down on the mat as Gunther moves out of the way. Gunther puts Uso into another sleeper hold / chokehold. Uso manages to grab the ropes, but is dragged back to the middle of the ring. Uso gets back on his feet and Gunther drags Uso back down in a sleeper hold. Uso breaks the hold and gets Gunther in a sleeper hold. Gunther breaks free of the hold and starts hammering down on Uso and hits Uso with another sleeper / chokehold. Jey Uso gets knocked out and Gunther gets the win. So winner by KO and new World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. After the match, Uso was consoled by his son, Jay's, hope I said that right, while Gunther celebrates in the ring with pyro and we get the Reds roll and stuff. So yeah, that was a good showtime, but man, that sucked how he lost and shit. But I don't know, what are you gonna do? So I'm kind of happy that Nikki Bella's back and stuff, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I know she's gonna go after Liv Morgan for next month's Evolution, so and stuff. But yeah, it was a good show. Which was last night already and stuff. So yeah, good show after Money in the Bank stuff. It was kind of more longer because of Money in the Bank and stuff. Yeah, so that's why it was a little longer and all that. But yeah, anyway, it's a good show and stuff. But yeah, that was it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If not, whatever. So like, subscribe, hit the button, and leave a comment. If you guys want to leave a comment, stuff, I don't care, guys. And that was it. I see you guys Wednesday night for AEW Dynamite. Alright, laters.